The town of Gyoda in northern Saitama takes you far back into ancient eras and offers gorgeous parks. It is most famous for its ancient burial grounds from the 5th to the 7th centuries. In Sakitama Kofun Park, at the center of Gyoda, you can reach Gyoda by train. Board at Ueno Station in Tokyo and get off at Gyoda Station, about 60 minutes. You can also board the JR Shonan Shinjuku line at Ikebukuro Station for the same station, also about 60 minutes. Note that only local trains stop at Gyoda Station. The Sakitama Kofun Cluster was designated as a National Special Historic Site in 2020. A special historic site is one which has high academic merit, deemed worthy of serving as a symbol of Japanese culture, equivalent to the value held by a national treasure, tangible cultural property of Japan. This is Saitama Prefecture's first such designation. You can climb the Inariyama and Maruhakayama burial mounds, so instead of simply looking up at them from ground level, you can get a sweeping view of all the mounds from the top. Inside the Sakitama Kofun Park, which spans approximately 30 hectares, lie tourist facilities related to the ancient burial mounds, including the Saitama Prefectural Museum of the Sakitama Ancient Burial Mounds, where the national treasure Kinsakume Tekken and other objects are on display, and the Gyoda Haniwa no Yukata, where visitors can experience making their own Haniwa figures. There is an exhibition on Kofun inside the Saitama Prefectural Museum of the Sakitama Ancient Burial. These 9 large Kofun, ancient burial mounds, were built over the span of approximately 100 years. From the latter half of the 5th century to the beginning of the 7th century. Built in rapid succession over a very short period, this Kofun cluster represents the only one of its kind. Cherry blossoms Sakitama. One of Saitama's famous cherry blossom viewing spots is the Sakitama Tomb Park in Gyoda City. While renowned within Saitama as a sakura viewing spot, the cherry blossoms are not that eminent outside of Saitama. However, the Kofun burial mounds of the park are well known throughout Japan and particularly esteemed by people interested in burial mounds and/or national treasures. Sakitama Kofun Park is a medium-sized park designed around the ancient burial mounds unearthed at the site. Kofun is the Japanese for burial mound. There are 9 burial mounds in the park, including 2 you can walk up and over. One of those 2 is acclaimed for its stunning cherry blossom trees. Maruhakayama Mound is the mound that has cherry blossoms on top. At the base of the mound on one side there is also rapeseed growing. It is the only circular Kofun in the park, the rest are keyhole-shaped. It is not only the largest mound in the park, it is famed for being one of the largest in all of Japan. Inariyama Mound to the east of Maruhakayama is the Inariyama Mound, which is the other mound you can climb atop of. The Inariyama Mound is also famous throughout Japan as important national treasures were found at this site. You can view some of the relics found at the site at the museum on the grounds. Inariyama is the main burial mound at Sakitama and the oldest too. It is estimated that it was built in the late 5th century. There used to be an Inari shrine on the top of the mound and that is how it got its name, Mount Inari. The Inariyama Mound is about 12 meters tall. It affords great views of Gyoda, the park and its neighboring Maruhakayama Mound. For an atypical view it's got to be Sakitama Kofun Park in Gyoda. There are mature cherry blossoms atop the Maruhakayama Mound and rapeseed grows at the base on one side. In addition, you can get an aerial view of cherry blossoms below without a drone thanks to the height of the burial mounds. Moreover, there are 2 separate tunnels of cherry blossoms at this location. It's a particularly beautiful place for cherry blossom viewing. The area south of both the Maruhakayama and Inariyama mounds has beautiful cherry blossom trees, including a couple of a rare variety. There is a green area where you can picnic and play.